In the quiet villages of Narborough and Enderby, the tragic stories of Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth have left a lasting impact on the community. Both girls, just 15 years old, were victims of brutal murders that shocked the local area and highlighted the dangers lurking in seemingly peaceful surroundings. Lynda Mann was last seen on November 21, 1983, after babysitting. Her body was discovered the next day on a footpath known as the Black Pad, where she had been raped and strangled. Dawn Ashworth disappeared on July 31, 1986, while on her way to visit a friend. Her body was found 2 days later in a wooded area near 10-Pound Lane, also raped and strangled. Both girls attended Brockington High School, and their cases were soon recognized as connected due to the similarities in their circumstances and the nature of the crimes. Initially, the police had very few leads. They collected evidence, including semen samples, but lacked a suspect, causing the cases to go cold. The investigation into Lynda's murder was particularly challenging, as forensic science at the time was not advanced enough to provide clear direction. When Dawn was murdered, the police quickly recognized they might be dealing with a serial killer, prompting them to focus on local men and request voluntary blood samples for testing. Despite these efforts, the investigation faced numerous setbacks. An early suspect, Richard Buckland, falsely confessed to Dawn's murder but was later cleared. The breakthrough came when a colleague of Colin Pitchfork overheard him bragging about providing a blood sample for Pitchfork, leading to his arrest in September 1987. Colin Pitchfork was convicted of the murders of Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth in 1988, becoming the first person in the UK to be convicted using DNA evidence. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term initially set at 30 years, later reduced to 28 years for good behavior. Despite his conviction, the emotional scars left on the families and the community remain profound. The emotional impact of these crimes is still felt today. Family members, particularly Barbara Ashworth, Dawn's mother, have expressed their heartbreak and anger over the possibility of Pitchfork being released. In 2021, Pitchfork was briefly released but was recalled to prison just 2 months later due to concerns about his behavior. As of now, he remains incarcerated, but discussions about his potential release continue to cause distress for the victims' families and the community. The murders of Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the lasting effects of violence on families and communities. Their stories inspire ongoing calls for justice and safety, ensuring that their memories live on. If you're enjoying our content on cold cases and unsolved mysteries, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and share new insights. The tragic stories of Lynda and Dawn are not just about the crimes committed against them. They reflect the lives they lived and the love they left behind. Their memories continue to resonate, reminding us of the importance of community safety and the pursuit of justice. In July 1974, a young woman was found dead in the dunes near Race Point Beach in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Her body was discovered in a shocking state, nearly decapitated, with both hands severed. This gruesome scene left investigators and the community in disbelief, and the case of the Lady of the Dunes remains unsolved to this day. The mystery surrounding her identity and the circumstances of her death has led to numerous theories and psychological explorations, making this case one of the most haunting cold cases in American history. The Lady of the Dunes was never identified during her lifetime, and her true name remains a mystery. She was found lying face down on a green towel, with her head resting on a pair of folded blue jeans. Her hair was reddish-brown, worn in a ponytail, and she was estimated to be between 20 and 40 years old, standing about 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing between 140 and 150 pounds. The absence of her hands was a deliberate act by the killer, likely intended to prevent identification through fingerprints. This act of violence not only stripped her of her identity, but also left her family and friends without closure. The Lady of the Dunes had about $10,000 worth of dental work, which was described as being in the New York style, suggesting she may have come from a more urban background. Despite extensive investigations, no one has come forward to claim her, and her identity remains unknown. This lack of connection to her past adds a layer of tragedy to her story, as she was not just a victim but a person with a life, dreams, and loved ones who may never know what happened to her. The crime took place in a serene yet eerie setting. On July 26, 1974, a young girl walking her dog stumbled upon the body in a secluded area of the dunes. The scene was shocking. The Lady of the Dunes had been brutally murdered, her body posed as if she were sunbathing. The killer had left her in a way that suggested a chilling sense of control and calculation. The area was marked with blood, indicating that the murder likely occurred elsewhere, and the body was moved to this location to be displayed. If you're enjoying our content on cold cases and unsolved mysteries and want to see more, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and share new insights. So, let's continue. The immediate aftermath of the discovery was chaotic. Local authorities were called to the scene, and the investigation began. The brutality of the crime sent shockwaves through the community, and the media quickly picked up the story. The police launched a massive investigation, but despite their efforts, they were unable to identify the victim or find any leads on her killer. The investigation into the Lady of the Dunes murder faced numerous challenges. Initially, investigators focused on local missing persons cases, hoping to find a match for the unidentified woman. They conducted interviews, collected evidence, and even exhumed her remains twice as DNA technology advanced. However, each attempt to identify her or find her killer led to dead ends. One of the most intriguing aspects of the investigation is the various theories that have emerged over the years. Some speculate that the Lady of the Dunes may have been involved in the local counterculture scene of the 1970s, possibly linked to the many transient individuals who frequented Cape Cod during the summer months. Others have suggested connections to organized crime, with some even implicating notorious figures like mobster James Whitey Bulger, although no concrete evidence has ever surfaced to support these claims. In recent years, a new theory has gained traction, thanks in part to author Joe Hill, son of Stephen King. Hill proposed that the Lady of the Dunes may have appeared as an extra in the film Jaws, which was filmed nearby around the same time. He pointed to a scene in the movie where a woman resembling the composite sketch of the Lady of the Dunes appears. This theory, while speculative, has reignited interest in the case and prompted renewed calls for information from the public. Despite decades of investigation, the Lady of the Dunes remains unidentified, and her killer has never been brought to justice. The case is still open, and authorities continue to follow any leads that may arise. The Provincetown Police Department has expressed a commitment to solving the case, stating that they will pursue any new information that comes to light. However, the passage of time has made it increasingly difficult to uncover new evidence. The psychological elements surrounding this case are complex. The brutality of the murder and the lack of identification create a sense of unease and mystery. Theories about the lady's life and the circumstances of her death often reflect broader societal fears about violence against women and the anonymity of victims in a transient society. The fact that her identity remains unknown adds to the psychological weight of the case, as it raises questions about how society remembers its victims and the importance of closure for families and communities. The emotional impact of the Lady of the Dunes case extends beyond the immediate tragedy of her death. Family members of missing persons have often expressed their anguish over the lack of resolution in cases like hers. The absence of closure can lead to a prolonged state of grief and uncertainty for those left behind. The Lady of the Dunes is not just a nameless victim. She represents countless individuals who have disappeared without a trace, leaving families to wonder what happened to their loved ones. If you're enjoying our content on cold cases and unsolved mysteries and want to see more, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and share new insights. So, let's continue. Detective Warren Tobias, who has been involved with the case for decades, has spoken about the emotional toll it takes on investigators as well. He has expressed frustration over the lack of progress and the feeling that they are letting the victim down by not being able to provide answers. After 44 years, we still don't have that answer, he lamented, highlighting the deep sense of responsibility felt by those who have dedicated their careers to solving this case. The case of the Lady of the Dunes is a haunting reminder of the unresolved mysteries that linger in our society. It raises important questions about identity, violence, and the search for justice. As new theories emerge and interest in the case continues, there is hope that one day the Lady of the Dunes will be identified and her killer will be brought to justice. Until then, her story remains a chilling chapter in the annals of unsolved crimes, a testament to the lives lost and the families left in the dark. The Arushi Talwar murder case is one of the most sensational and controversial criminal cases in India, captivating the nation and raising numerous questions about justice, media influence, and the complexities of familial relationships. The case revolves around the brutal murder of 13-year-old Arushi Talwar and her family's live-in domestic help, Hemraj Banjade, in May 2008. This narrative will explore the intricate details of the case, the psychological elements at play, and the unresolved questions that continue to haunt investigators and the public alike. If you're enjoying our content on cold cases and unsolved mysteries and want to see more, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and share new insights. So, let's continue. On the morning of May 16, 2008, Arushi's parents, Dr. Rajesh and Dr. Nupur Talwar, awoke to a nightmare. Their daughter was found dead in her bedroom, her throat slit and her body positioned in a way that suggested a violent struggle. Initially, the police suspected Hemraj, the family's domestic help, who was missing at the time. However, the following day, Hemraj's body was discovered on the terrace of the Talwar residence, also brutally murdered. The shocking nature of the crime scene sent ripples of fear and intrigue throughout the community and beyond. The investigation into the murders was marred by missteps and controversies from the outset. The police failed to secure the crime scene properly, allowing crucial evidence to be contaminated. As the investigation unfolded, the focus shifted from Hemraj to Arushi's parents, who became prime suspects. Allegations of infidelity and family discord emerged, fueled by sensational media coverage that painted the Talwars in a negative light. The narrative quickly morphed into a public spectacle, with the media conducting what many referred to as a trial by media. The psychological dynamics of the case are complex. The Talwars, both respected dentists, found themselves at the center of a media frenzy that scrutinized their every move. The pressure of public opinion weighed heavily on them, leading to a sense of isolation and despair. The psychological toll of being accused of such heinous crimes against their own child is unimaginable. This aspect of the case raises questions about the impact of media narratives on public perception and the justice system. As public outrage grew, the case was handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI), India's premier investigative agency. The CBI's involvement brought renewed hope for justice, but it also introduced new controversies. The agency initially exonerated the Talwars, shifting suspicion to their domestic help, Krishna Thadarai, and 2 other servants. However, the CBI's methods, including controversial narcoanalysis tests, were criticized for lacking scientific rigor. The investigation seemed to spiral into a web of confusion, with conflicting theories and no clear resolution. In 2013, after years of investigation and public speculation, a special CBI court convicted the Talwars of double murder, sentencing them to life imprisonment. The verdict was met with mixed reactions, with many believing that the evidence presented was circumstantial and insufficient to warrant such a severe punishment. The Talwars maintained their innocence, and their supporters argued that they were victims of a flawed investigation and media sensationalism. If you're enjoying our content on cold cases and unsolved mysteries and want to see more, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to delve deeper into these intriguing stories and share new insights. So, let's continue. In 2017, the Allahabad High Court overturned the Talwars' conviction, citing a lack of concrete evidence linking them to the murders. The court's decision reignited debates about the integrity of the investigation and the role of the media in shaping public opinion. The Talwars were finally acquitted, but the case remained officially unsolved, leaving many questions unanswered. The Arushi Talwar case is rife with unanswered questions that continue to fuel speculation and intrigue. 1. Who killed Arushi and Hemraj? 2. What role did the media play? 3. Was the investigation compromised? 4. What psychological factors contributed to the case? The Arushi Talwar case has left an indelible mark on Indian society, raising important questions about justice, media ethics, and the complexities of familial relationships. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of sensationalism and the impact of public opinion on the judicial process. The case remains a haunting reminder of the unresolved mysteries that linger in our society, and the search for truth continues. As we reflect on the Arushi Talwar case, we are left with more questions than answers. The story of a young girl's tragic death and the subsequent turmoil faced by her family is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the complexities of human relationships. The case remains officially unsolved, and the search for justice continues, leaving a lasting impact on those who followed the story. The Arushi Talwar case is not just a tale of murder. It is a narrative that explores the depths of human emotion, the influence of media, and the quest for truth in a world filled with uncertainty. As the investigation remains open, the question lingers: will the true identity of Arushi's killer ever be revealed? The haunting silence of the Talwar home echoes with the memories of a life cut short, and the shadows of unanswered questions loom large. The story of Arushi Talwar is far from over, and the quest for justice continues to captivate and perplex. As we reflect on the chilling nature of the cold cases we've explored, Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, the Lady of the Dunes, and Arushi Talwar, we are left with a profound sense of unease and a multitude of unresolved questions. Each case presents a haunting narrative filled with tragedy, loss, and the relentless search for justice. Each of these cases leaves us with haunting questions. Who truly killed Lynda Mann and Dawn Ashworth? And why have they never been brought to justice? What happened to the Lady of the Dunes? And why has her identity remained a mystery for so long? In the Arushi Talwar case, who was responsible for the murders? And how did the investigation go so wrong? These unresolved questions not only reflect the failures of the justice system, but also the emotional toll on families and communities affected by these tragedies. We encourage you, our viewers, to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What do you think happened in these cases? Do you have any insights or information that could shed light on these chilling mysteries? Your engagement can help keep the conversation alive and perhaps even lead to new discoveries. As we conclude this exploration of cold cases, we are left with a haunting question. Will these stories ever find closure? The echoes of these unsolved mysteries linger in our minds, reminding us of the fragility of life and the importance of seeking justice for those who can no longer speak for themselves. We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are valuable, and we want to hear from you. If you found this video informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Your support helps us continue to bring you stories that matter. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will investigate another intriguing cold case that explores the complexities of human relationships and the choices that lead to life-altering consequences. Don't miss it.